going to introduce himself and also tell us a little about the rules and the regulations we have to follow while we are aboard the Red Cloud this afternoon. Take it away, Gary.
Thank you very much, Greg. I'd like to welcome everybody aboard the Red Cloud. Like Greg said, my name's Gary. A little bit about me. This is my 5th year driving boats for the Dells Boat Tours. In the summertime, you'll find me driving the jet boats. Those are the ones over to your right. A little darker blue, kind of low slung boats. We go fast, spin around, splash, have all kinds of fun. Great fun on a 90-degree day. But right now, a little cool for that, so I enjoy driving the tour boats both in the spring and in the fall. I'm also local to the area. I live between the Dells and the beautiful Twin Cities of Adams and Friendship. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
And off to the left-hand side and ahead of the boat is Romance Cliff, and that stands 75 feet high. Legend has it that the Native Americans would have their wedding ceremonies right up on top of beautiful Romance Cliff. Now, as we pass between these two rocks, we aren't going through the deepest section of the Wisconsin River. The water right here is over 100 feet deep. Now we're coming up to one of our more popular rock formations. It's ahead of the boat and off to the right-hand side. This is Chimney Rock, just off to your right. It gets its name because it does resemble the old stick and mortar chimneys of the early pioneer days. Now in the 1800s, the number one job of this river was to transport the number one product down to the markets of the South. And that product was timber. Yes, it was timber. Now, as I said, Leroy Gates was a pretty popular person back then. So popular that they did put an inscription of his name in the rock. And that's coming up here to the left-hand side of the boat. It's going to be about 10 feet above water level. Just coming up here in just a moment. It is very hard to see. It's an inscription made many years ago. But if you look closely, you will see a faint inscription just coming up here ahead of the boat and right up to the left-hand side on this flat greenish rock. It is difficult to read, so I'll read it for you. It says, Leroy Gates, Dells and River Pilot, from 1849 to 58. Inscription just up to our left. In the dark of night, and the boats dock up here. The passengers get out of the pathway and walk up into the canyon, where it's like an outdoor haunted house. They have people hiding behind trees that come and jump after you, chasing you with chainsaws. It's a real outdoor haunted house of the ghost boats. It's a very popular thing to do here in the evenings in the Dells, and it is a lot of fun. Now, as I said before, this is a beautiful natural main canyon, and it is about a 4-block walk. We're going to get out of the boat and you'll walk 2 blocks to where we will see a concession stand and a restroom area. At that point, you turn around and come back the same way back to the boat. So in all, it is about a 4-block walk, relatively flat. So it is a beautiful, beautiful walk. If you don't want to take the walk, you're more than welcome to stay in the boat. We do ask that you please stay seated until you hear from either myself or the captain that it's safe to stand up and come ashore. And when you do come back, we ask that you return to your same seats. Return to the same seats.
You having fun, Robin?
I am.
This is pretty cool, huh?
It really is.
Robin never saw any of this before.
Yeah. It's like we have the whole place to ourselves.
I was here in my old life.
Old life.
Yeah, well,
Long time ago.
long time ago. But it's cool.
It is cool.
Let's walk through the tunnel here, or what do you want to call this rock formation, and so I can look at you shake your butt. Come on, that was funny. You only live once, remember?
Yep.
And we're living the dream. Remember, folks, follow us on YouTube. The Riverstone Life.
The Riverstone.
The Riverstone Life. I'm still looking at your butt.
And rock. This is the trademark of Wisconsin Dells. A lot of people say it's this rock that made Wisconsin Dells the tourist attraction that it is today. This rock and the photographer H.H. Bennett. Now, H.H. Bennett was a famous photographer in the 1880s, and he loved the Dells area. He would take pictures of all the rock formations you've been seeing today on the boat trip, and especially Stand Rock, and he sent them all over the country and the world, and then that's what initially brought people to this area to see the Wisconsin River and the Upper Dells for themselves. Now, as I said, H.H. Bennett was a famous photographer. He invented stop-action photography, or which is really the shutter in your camera. This photo of his was taken in 1888, and it won competitions all over the world. No one had ever seen somebody suspended in air like that. When he took the photo, he stood on the cliff right behind us here, and like any good father, he sent his son up there to do the jumping. That is his son, Ashley, and it said it took about 10 to 13 jumps till he got that perfect pose in between.